Okay. So the first time that I came to Laws of Motion Physical Therapy was after I had a really bad low back flare up. My SI joint and low back, it went out bad. Like I couldn't walk, I couldn't bend over. I was just stuck in space, and I knew it was beyond anything that I could do to get out of pain. So that was the first time I came in, and uh are you going to edit this and make it sound better?
Edit, don't worry.
Okay, great.
Yeah, honestly, and you're not going to be on screen the whole time.
Okay.
So, like, to put your mind at ease, like, just, like, chunk out sentences, and then we'll make it seamless.
Okay, great. Cool. And if I start doing a lot of things with my hands or looking away or whatever, it's not going to matter.
That's
You'll
fine, yeah.
cut away from me.
Feel free to use your hands. I wouldn't necessarily stand up because you're going to hit yourself in the face with the microphone.
Okay, I won't stand up. Okay. It should be easy talking about how I met you, but...
Right.
Okay, do I start over or you'll use some of that?
You started off really great. Yeah.
Okay.
So you came to see SI,
Mm-hmm.
low back flared up.
Mm-hmm.
Give a little history of like what you did in your previous work life. You know, dancer. You know, finding PT, going through some of the Pilates stuff. Like, just give a little background about yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So prior to my low back flare where I came in to Laws of Motion for the first time, I have a history of low back injury, low back pain. A couple years ago, or more than a couple years ago at this point, I had severe bulging discs in my spine, L5-S1, L4, L5. I had also been a dancer my whole life since I was 5 years old. I was a group fitness instructor teaching like cardio kickboxing and all this stuff, basically just using my body a lot. I was also living in New York City at the time, so lots, just all day on my feet, dancing, teaching kind of intense fitness classes. So had a history of low back pain, low back flare-ups. This kind of had happened to me multiple times. And in the past when it happened, it was beyond anything that I could do on my own with Pilates or with traditional physical therapy to help it. What I found was that my body, I have a lot of hypermobility and things get stuck where they shouldn't be. And finding a physical therapist who is able to like physically work on my bones, on my joints, and work to kind of get things not only in better alignment or better position, but get the joints working optimally so that they're able to move in their full range. They're able to stabilize. They're able to do what they need to do. That ultimately for me was what I needed to get out of my back flare-up. So the first time that I came into Laws of Motion, right, it was things were stuck. Pelvis wasn't moving, hip wasn't moving. And, what Greg worked on was, well, all of that I just said. He worked on stabilizing the joints that needed to be stabilized, mobilizing the joints that needed to be mobilized, giving me information about that, teaching me about that so that then on my own workouts, doing my own things, I could apply that to get better.
What would you say is different from our approach to like your traditional PT that you tried before?
Yeah. So Laws of Motion is, in my opinion, very different than traditional physical therapy or traditional physical therapy clinics. I've done a lot of physical therapy in my life for a wide range of things. And what I found is that other physical therapists, maybe the therapist spends 10, 15 minutes with you. They do a couple hands-on things, and then they send you off with an aide to do exercises. And for me, that was never helpful, right? I was a dancer my whole life. I'm a Pilates instructor. I know movement. I know exercises. What makes Laws of Motion different is that you have an entire 50 minutes that you're in there with the therapist and they are hands-on treating you the entire time. Sometimes they do, go through exercises and at-home protocol and things, but I think really what makes it difference is that you're in there, like I said, that full 50-minute time block, hands-on, treating the problems. And that's, I think, really unique and something you don't get in other physical therapy places.
Perfect. Very articulate. Yeah. That's good.
Okay, good. Do you need anything else? I should be so good. You don't know this, but I was a broadcast journalism major in another life. They would be like, oh, God, you're doing so bad now because I don't do this anymore.
Yeah, I would say if there's any way to transition to closing, so like come in and see Greg or something like that, like what would you tell people that are on the fence or when you talk to your Pilates clients? Like,
can I say it like that, like what I tell my clients, or you want it more generic, just people? I can do either.
Let's try your clients.
Okay.
That's what you have more experience talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So just what I would say to clients if they're on the fence about coming in, or if...
Right. So just think of like an ending closing. don't do like a call to action, but like something like that to kind of, be the end of the.
Okay. Yeah. Can you see my legs?
I think it's framed,
I'll stay here.
I think they're framed out.
I'll stay
Yeah,
here.
Yeah, we got your
Okay.
knees.
The knees.
Okay.
Yeah, the knees.
Okay. So, what I would say to anybody, whether it's a client of mine that I see in the Pilates world or even just a family member or a friend, what I would say to someone who is in chronic pain or experiencing an injury that they feel like they're stuck and can't recover from, that I would highly recommend that they come in, give it a shot, see Greg, see Heather, try Laws of Motion out. Like I said, from my personal experience, it's very different than any other physical therapy I've ever tried. And I think you honestly have nothing to lose. Whatever they do, I mean, even if it gets you right that much better than where you are now, that's a step in the right direction. And I think, like I said, a lot of times it's not just movement that gets you better. You need hands-on someone looking at you, getting the body in a better place. And so if you're on the fence or wondering if it's going to help you or not, I think you got to go in, you got to give it a shot, because they've helped my body. They've helped so many of my clients in so many ways. And yeah, I can't speak highly enough.